how to avoid living a life of regret. How do you avoid looking back at your life and wondering what could have been? I have a lot of techniques for doing this. I'm obviously a self improvement guy. I write about it, I talk about it, I speak about it, and it's hard to improve yourself. It's hard to stay on that path to living the life of your dreams. I mean, how audacious do you have to be to live a life of your dreams in the first place? It's not easy. So I'm always looking for reminders that can help me stay focused on what I'm aiming for. And one thing that helps quite a bit is watching other people. So you've had this experience before. There is an older person in line and they are fighting with the cashier about a coupon that's expired or something. And it's not that they're fighting about the coupon, it's that they're that invested into what's going on. Like there's nothing else in their life that they can focus on. So they get involved in these intense battles over trivialities. See, that's one thing you can notice about someone who is not self-actualized. The more they get caught up in petty annoyances and trivialities, the less they see the bigger picture. So you can kind of see it just on people's faces. You can actually just look at someone's face and get a pretty good idea of how they're living their life. Okay, so I work in a town called Rochester, Minnesota. And Rochester, Minnesota is home of the Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic's one of the top hospitals in the world. They have cutting edge technology. People who work at Mayo often make a lot of money, quite a bit of money, but a lot of them aren't happy and you can see it. So I go downtown, I go work in coffee shops downtown because I don't like to sit in the house all day while I work. So I go downtown and that's where the Mayo Clinic is located. And you see all these employees walking around with their nice fancy suits, with their $300 shoes, getting out of their brand new Audi, and then here you go, me wearing like my regular $5 H&M shirt with a backpack on, looking like a college student, even though I'm 30 years old. And I'm walking around, I just look goofy, right? I have my headphones on, like I'm listening to cool music, I'm walking the street, kind of smiling, trying to, just have a vibrance going just because I'm enjoying what I do. And then I contrast with the people I see. A lot of times they don't even look at you. They're either buried head in their phone or they're like looking down at the ground. It's almost as if like life has like turned a crank on their neck to where they can't look up and enjoy it anymore. They're just like, I gotta go to lunch. All right, I gotta go back to the office. We have 3 meetings. We have the meeting about the meeting, and then we have the pre-meeting meeting, and then I have to take my meeting notes. And like you can see the stress and the frazzled, soulless existence that people have. And you just walk past them and they don't acknowledge you. They don't smile. It has nothing to do with you. They're just so caught up in this like groundhog day of an existence, and they're dead. They're alive, but they're not there, right? So I think about that a lot. I contemplate that a lot. And one of my biggest fears in life, again, remember, negative emotions don't always have to be negative, like they can serve a purpose. One of my biggest fears in life was turning into one of those people. Turning into one of those people who just look back on life and they're just like, not only do they have the regrets, but now they no longer have the energy to do anything about it. So they're stuck getting caught in petty annoyances and trivialities. They've worked so hard to build a career that they don't even fucking like, but they have the golden handcuffs, right? They have the mortgage. They have the brand new Audi. They have the $300 suits. They have to pay for their kids to go to college. They have roots. They are tied down to this shitty life where there's no mistake, where there's no escape. And so that's why you see people buying things they don't need. They're trying to fill that void. They're trying to fill the void that comes when you spend a whole life building what is essentially a house of cards. And fortunately for me, I don't know if I've just been an intuitive person my whole life. I think that's what it is. I kind of got a sense that people were not being forthright with me when they were talking about the good life. Get a nice job, go to college, 2.5 kids, mortgage. When you're 40, you'll get that Mercedes Benz you always wanted. Like, fuck that. Why are we under this massive delusion that that's what you're supposed to want? Like, what? Come on. People, those suits might as well be prison uniforms. And you see over time, like you look around, it slowly starts to dwindle, right? So at first, most people come out of college and they are very bright-eyed and idealistic, right? And then they get the first entry-level job, they get 30K a year, 40K, 50K. They get their little earpiece to make sales calls and they're like, okay, this is just the entry-level period. Like, it'll get better after this, when I climb the ladder, have more money, rise up the ladder, things will get better. I'll go get my master's. I'll get another degree. I'll rise up and then I'll feel better. But then you notice right around 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Ooh, 30. It starts to hit people, right? They see the trajectory that they're going in, but they kind of feel powerless to do anything about it. So my whole mission in life is just to inject people with this power, not because I think being involved in self-help is some holier than thou mission and that you're inherently a bad person if you don't do it, but I just see. I don't know. I just have third eye in the middle of my head where I can see what's going on. I can see the traps. So as hard as it is to find your purpose in life, as hard as it is to find a passion in life, think of the alternative. That's what I always do. I always compare and contrast and juxtapose. What's the alternative? Like, I'm working hard 5 years trying to build this writing career. It's very hard. I don't think I can do it half the time, but I still do it. Why? Because I see the person in the supermarket arguing about coupons. I see the person who gets out of their brand new Benz, but they look fucking miserable in their $300 fucking miserable dollar suit. Okay? I see what's going on with people. I see what happened with the people closest to me, to my relatives, to my family, to my friends, to my peers, and how they feel and how they look, and how I can tell how they're trying to replace that void to avoid really understanding that they're wasting their life. And so if you think I'm being too serious about it, fine, go about your life. Give it 30 years. Check back with me in a decade and we'll talk. We'll have a heart to heart. And, I sincerely hope it does go well for you. But for a lot of people, you're on the path to hell. And I'll have a lot more videos to cover it, but get out now, as soon as possible, before it's too late.